Yeah, people need to know you're a big deal, Quan. You are the
Oh my
QuanCredible.
gosh.
Okay, we're live. We're getting stuff set up. I gotta put a tweet. I gotta send stuff out. I've got the tab open. I gotta open actually the tweet as well of the previous post to see some of the matches some people put. Some of them it's like, oh, cool. I still can't believe I was arguing with the guy who was like Draken Joe against Aknologia, and I'm like, what is Draken Joe gonna do? Aknologia can just like
I mean,
he can fly by him and kill him.
he couldn't like he could turn Agnologia into something though.
It wouldn't
Like
work. It wouldn't work on him. He's immune.
he's not immune to all magic.
Yes, he
Like
is.
he's not. I wouldn't say immune or Dragon Slayer magic wouldn't work on him. He was just immune.
He's immune to magic. He's a magic dragon.
Yeah, but like if that's the case, Dragon Slayer magic wouldn't work on him at all, even if he was weakened. If he's
Well,
immune to
no,
it.
because they're crippled by motion sickness, it like fucks with all their magic, so that it just completely takes that out of it. It's like Gray lost the fight against the Ice Lady earlier because she shut his magic out entirely.
That's like saying like if that's the case, then Agnologia is like the strongest in the verse hands down.
He is.
There's no one.
Mishima said so himself, like last year.
Oh well, Zeref couldn't even beat him. Like
No, Zeref even admitted he couldn't beat him.
he's being modest.
No, he was terrified of him. Like Mavis even said, "Why are you scared of him?" And he's like, "Because I can't die, and he will just torture me forever."
That's pretty. That's actually pretty bad.
Yeah. I got this. I gotta open up the stream. I got Stream Labs, but I don't have the actual stream itself. I gotta let people know the QuanCredible. I've got a celebrity here. I had to pull some strings. I had to pull a favor of my man Mark Cuban himself, and he's like, I can try. Quan's a busy man. We got Jared Punch here. We got JK Network. How you guys doing? He wants to know how you're doing, Quan.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm hanging in there.
See, your right even says, "What's up, Rax?" and Big Man Quan.
Okay.
Quan Colossal. Big deal.
On Colossal Bowl.
Bakugo versus Jackal. What? Jackal is gonna murder him. He
What?
just touches him, and then Bakugo
Yeah.
explodes.
Yeah, my hero's not known for their durability.
No, people there is also getting still tagged by bullets.
I mean, cause even like Endeavor's like I think like Endeavor's like top speed was like close to the speed of sound, so that's not even like
Yeah,
you know,
my
like, top speed in the verse is like pretty dang slow.
my heroes doesn't have much for power level stuff.
No, they're kind of in that same bracket as like Hunter x Hunter, or like some stuff is really cool, but like overall they're not like super fast or super strong.
That's what, but like for some reason, a lot of the My Hero fans think they're really powerful.
Sounds like the Hunter x Hunter fans too.
I
Like they have a lot in common.
I saw one that was saying Todoroki could beat Gray.
No, no, his fire is nowhere near what Gray like. His fire is nowhere near what you would need to
Gray
step to Gray.
Gray froze fire in like in the Tower of Heaven. He can freeze fire. That doesn't even make scientific sense. Like Todoroki's gonna get killed.
Like you need like Natsu level fire if you want like any effect on Gray. Like you need some serious heat.
Yeah, let's see if there's any more in there. Saying Moscow would slap back and we gotta see what that button does. That button might
It
like
does
tear apart reality.
the button. I got my money is on him every time. 10 out of 10 fights.
The button turns him into Mishima and he goes into his editor notes. Oh, Quan's mic is low. Here, I'll turn him up. How about now?
Oh,
Quan, say some stuff.
let me see. I'm gonna say some stuff. I'm betting on. I almost feel like like I was mad when he didn't get a chance to use the button in his most in that fight he was in. I thought he was gonna get a chance.
That button
I
could
was so
do
pumped.
literally anything. I just want to know. It could just like spray confetti out his ears, and I'd be okay with it. It could do nothing important. I just want to see what it does.
It was a driving force for me catching up to Eden Zero. Like,
Laguna would low diff Endeavor. He would just say some sad stuff about his son and then turn him into
oh
water.
my gosh. Endeavor spent like 5 chapters crying like no cap when he was in the hospital.
Laguna's over there in the corner rubbing his hands together. He's ready.
Like,
He knows what he
I mean,
needs to do.
the worst matchup for Endeavor in all of fiction.
Could you imagine like early series Deku against Laguna?
Oh my gosh, he wouldn't stand a chance. Like
He
he
just
wouldn't even.
like he does.
He triggers one flashback. He just bursts into water.
Okay, it says your audio is better now. I want to see what some of the ones in my community tab, because some of them were Jin and Klein versus Yuno still should wipe pretty easy.
He should still win. Like unless we get like more crazy stuff from them, I'm not seeing like what they would do to him. All like that.
Because they didn't get any like hacks powers or anything. It was mostly just like more powerful. But that doesn't really tell us much.
Well, it just sucked because like after most of these overdrives, they just like one shot, so we didn't even really get to see anything. It was just like, oh, transform one shot, so it's like we didn't get like how Shiki we got to see a little bit of what he can do.
We got we got one for Wise. Like Wise gave us a good amount. The one that was the most upsetting was Homura's, because like I don't really know other than like a good sword technique. Like what does her circle sword do?
Right.
It just doesn't attack.
I feel like, yeah, it's like her. It's like her. She probably just gets like buffs to her physical stats, like stronger, faster, obviously. But like, so like, it's like, can we get something a little more spicy? Like,
that's what I assume. I was hoping they would get like something additional, like some
give
extra
her like
power.
a huge like demon slayer sword. Like,
yeah, it's like when like Natsu went Dragon Force against Zero, he gained the ability to burn magic. I want stuff like that. I always like when there's an extra perk whenever they get a power up.
not just power up just for the sake of power up.
Yeah, Akame versus Minato. Minato is one-shotting her.
Oh
quick.
gosh, yeah, no.
One freaking yellow flash, Rasengan, she's done.
She dies immediately.
Homura versus
granted,
Kagura. Oh, you go.
Not wait, Homura versus Kagura from Naruto?
I think he means Fairy Tail Kagura. Kagura should still clap pretty easy.
You think?
She should still clap pretty easy.
You think?
Yeah,
Still?
she was Wizard Saint tier. She should clap, and she has gravity magic.
I'm pretty sure Homura would be fine.
I don't think so. Did you see like her regular sword slashes were like cutting down like the entire city blocks, just like tearing through?
Well, I guess like, are we giving her unsheathed sword or is her sword sheathed? Like, is she like
Should be her
able to
regular
use...
self. She's using her sword like normally after that arc.
Does she? I
Yeah.
thought it was still sheathed.
No,
Well,
I
shouldn't she
remember
be weaker though?
Larcade stopped it. He just put his fingers out, stopped the blade.
She should be weaker then, since it doesn't have that buff of saving it for the person that she is sworn to kill.
Oh no, she like cut that small mountain in half like immediately after she pulled it out during Alvarez. And she was cutting missiles, but I think Homura's done that too. But
that was like her debut was cutting missiles.
But like Kagura should just be raw, way more powerful.
In terms of power, probably. But I guess like Homura hasn't had a chance to do anything like super huge and crazy, like cut a mountain or anything.
And then like gravity magic just kind of puts her in one spot, so it just claps. I guess this thing, Homura doesn't really have anything outside of just swordsmanship. She doesn't have any additional powers.
She's like all technique, like.
You can kind of say her electric claws, but I mean like, that's about it. Do you have any good ones you wanted to throw in there? I had a few that I wanted to bring up. People were really wanting to talk about Rill and Rusty Rose.
Rusty Rose.
That's the dude from Grimoire Heart who has the arc of imagination. He can just think of stuff.
Oh, the guy that grave beat the memory.
No,
thing?
that's Rufus. Rusty Rose is the dude with the pompadour.
I'm gonna just type him in.
Yeah, Rusty Rose. Bacchus versus Guy. Guy's gonna beat the shit out of him. He just gives him like one. What is it? Freaking morning
this
peacock.
dude.
Yeah, that dude.
I remember this dude.
Yeah, he should. I think he could beat Real pretty quick.
I don't know, bro. If Real like once Real goes invincible and does all that other extra stuff, he should be fine.
Yeah, but he's gotta get inspired to do stuff.
Well, no, cause after Real does the spell, it's in his arsenal. Like he just has it now, so he doesn't probably have to get all like wound up to do it. Like, cause he was doing that harpy thing for like fun after he did it on
Well, doesn't he still have to get prepped up? He's still gotta get prepped up though. Rusty Rose should be able to.
Because he said he wasn't used to it.
You should be able just to stick him in his big exploding tower and throw him in the sky. Because Rill's also not durable.
I mean, we don't know anything about Rill's durability.
Rill's pretty fragile. He looks like he's made.
Is he? I mean,
he looks like a dandelion, and he's not a tough guy. I think Rill.
I believe Rill's faster.
Rill should be faster, but I think Rusty Rose is just he's way quicker with his magic, like just using it. Because he just thinks of stuff that's there. He doesn't have to do any setup spells. He just conjures.
Just like swipes his paintbrush one time and then it's there.
No, he's got to do his laugh. He's got to do his annoying laugh first. That's part of it.
It really is though.
He's got to do his annoying little cackle. But the thing is, like, if Rill gets inspired, it's gonna help him. But Rusty, if he gets back in the corner, he has the same thing. He just gets more pumped up.
I see. So they have like that similar thing between them.
Yeah. But he's way quicker into getting in his bag than Rill is, and I think that would screw over Rill. That's at least for me. If we went Rufus, I think Rufus claps. Like, I don't think that's a fight. Because he has.
Oh yeah, the memory.
Because he has that busted ability. If he learns it, he can cancel out your spells.
But then I guess at that point it would just rely on like, could Rill like keep learning or keep getting inspired to get new stuff? Like,
I don't know about that, because Rufus can also merge spells he learns to make new ones. So you can give him, like, what is it, Twilight of Valhalla and something else.
Oh gosh, so unfair.
He just Rill tries to put it up and he just says you forgot how to use that and cancels it. Let me see some more. Okay. I was gonna say, do you have any other ones?
I don't know. Well, one of my favorite go-to matchups. I always like to try to put Sting and Rogue against people because I like duo fights a lot, but I can't think of. I feel like most of the people that I put Sting and Rogue against, you always say that they like win.
Well,
unless I put them against someone.
Who was it last time that you said? I think it was like King and someone else, or they're running a train. Because like the thing that's really wild is when you look at like Britannia, and when you think of like all the craziness when you get to people that like, oh, they could destroy Britannia. Britannia fits in the gap between Fiore and Hargion. For my future video advertisement of talking about how big Fiore is like I think it's like 40% bigger than the United States.
That's pretty dang big.
It's a big fella. Duo fights? We can think of some duo fights. Chat, think of some duo fights, fellas. Help Quan out.
Bro, yeah. Sting and Rogue versus Bond and Meliodas. I think they get clapped.
No way, dude. Sting and Rogue are putting them on.
No.
Yeah.
They get destroyed.
No.
Destroyed.
It took like all the sins combined just to set something that would maybe destroy Britannia. That's weak for Spriggan level people.
No, Meliodas could destroy Britannia on his own, but he wasn't trying to do all that. He couldn't go back power.
That's small though for Fairy Tail people.
I mean, but that wasn't the maximum of his ability. He was fighting the Demon King like holding back because he didn't want to go full power because him existing in full power would have destroyed Britannia in itself.
And then you have like Sting. If he gets his white dragon claw on them, then they can't move anymore. He just completely takes away.
They can just burn it off, similar to how Meliodas burned it off.
No.
Just burn it off. I mean, it's similar to how Natsu burned it off.
Well, Natsu can burn magic. Meliodas and Bond can't burn magic.
He would get full countered back. All them like full counter.
I mean, well, that won't work on him though.
Why not?
Dragon Slayers are immune to their own abilities.
Completely immune.
Yeah, that was one of the first things set up as when Natsu fought the Banished brothers. Their whole thing was cooking up fire and doubling it and sending it back, and it didn't do any damage. And then when Gray shot all that Devil Slaying ice power back at Silver, and didn't do anything. They're unaffected by their own stuff.
That's so unfair.
Slayers
Even
are
if it's
OP.
doubled, that's unfair. Yeah, that's broken.
That's why I always get really annoyed when people put Slayers against people with the same attribute, and they're like, "Oh, you always think they're gonna win." Like, yeah, they're unfair against their own type.
Well, no, because like Ignia should be able to beat Natsu,
Well,
right?
he's just way more powerful.
So they're not immune. And then Natsu's getting beat up by the Godfire guy for a little bit. Like, I mean, he's been overpowered by people of the same element before.
They're not like immune like 100%. Like Natsu's not going up against freaking the Human Torch and like whatever craziest version he is. But like doubling his own power doesn't do anything. They have a high cap because like base Natsu was able to take August, like dropping a big ass spell on him, and August would have clapped him otherwise.
I see.
Seven just doesn't have a lot, like doesn't have as crazy of power levels. That's why like Black Clover is already getting.
I think you downplay Seven Deadly Sins.
No, their like biggest stuff was like a threat to Britannia. I will show you at some point like how small Britannia is to Fiore, because like Spriggan people like sit at Etherion, and like downplaying Etherion can destroy all of Fiore. So like think of something that just can casually nuke Russia. That's like Spriggan level where they start. Like Brandish is fodder to like regular Natsu, and she can turn herself like 70 miles tall. Start kicking people. Let me see. I will look at the chat, see if they've got any more cool ones. Sting Rogue versus Goku and Vegeta. Okay. That's not very fair.
Wow, okay.
That's not very fair whatsoever. They just blow up the planet. Rogue turns into a shadow and he stays there. Bam.
Yeah, they get it's not even close at all. Vegeta ridiculous. Doesn't even fight. He gets bored and leaves.
Well, hang on. What if Vegeta points to himself?
Man.
He will automatically lose somehow.
He just loses after that.
Kino says the QuanCredible.
Okay.
He knows.
I'm not even that popular.
Bud says Rill has durability. I mean, Rill's durability though is like you have like a deck of cards like set up as a castle as durability.
No, he's way more durable than that. He took all those shots from Lord Petrica. Like he got beat up, or like he took a huge spell from
Him being on the ground is not tanking. He's just not dead. He's just getting.
Yeah.
He's in the dirt.
That means if something of that magnitude didn't kill him, that means something a little bit weaker than it won't kill him.
I mean, I can not die from getting punched by Conor McGregor. It doesn't mean I tanked it. He's beating me up on the ground. They're like, "Wow, you have some good durability feats." I'm like unconscious. That's about it for real. Hot Eye versus Henry. Couldn't he just turn Henry's house into mud?
Oh, and Henry's done. Well, I mean, if he gets too close to Henry, he'll get all his magic absorbed.
Well, I think he would be able to tell because he can like see stuff with his eyes. His very rarely used weird eye magic. He's got like X-ray vision.
I mean, would that let him see that magic is being absorbed by this guy?
I assume if he can see magic and stuff, he would see like, hey, this guy's like he's like a vacuum of magic. I would assume at least. That'd be a weird one because it'd just be like, can he turn his house into mud?
If he does, Henry just kind of auto loses. Like if anything happens to the house,
Henry would legitimately be in the mud.
Yeah, would literally be in the mud, like literally.
Do you read Mashal?
I only read the first chapter.
Oh man, Bud says father versus Julius. If Mashal doesn't have like any good speed feats, but if you put him on equal speed, that dude is wiping the floor with Julius.
Really? Like what all does he have?
Well, he has spatial anti-magic. And he can do he's just gonna like if Julius did all his stuff, he could just like turn back time a couple seconds and be fine.
Oh, so he can actually like do the thing where he can freely travel, or not freely, but he can like go forward and backward slightly through time. Because I know Julius can't do that.
He's got a trump card where he can kind of have like a little cheat reset like Rebecca does. But he has like a spatial nuke. Like think of if you, I wish I had a character. Just think of like a giant ball like the size of a mountain of Langris's stuff.
Kind of like when Danzo did that thing where he like absorbed everything into that spot when Sasuke beat him.
Yeah.
But like obviously like way cooler than Danzo.
Yeah, this dude's OP, but he's like the top of like the whole Mashal world currently. He's like the strongest guy, and he's also good. I don't know if I have to ask Bud. I don't remember if like there's a part where he has necromancy, but I don't know if that was him or a different guy.
So Mashal, they're able to have multiple different magical abilities, like in other shows,
No,
like in other magical series.
This guy, it's like something this dude specifically can do.
Oh, okay.
He's like Raya or August or something like that.
Oh, like multiple different magics that can be used. That's
he's a
like
big cheat.
Special to him.
Sinbad versus Laxus. I assume this is not God Sinbad. I think Laxus can take regular Sinbad. I know he can't take God Sinbad.
I mean, like, he would just not use the lightning form. Like, could Laxus like defend himself against that sound one? Because it kind of just like screws his brain up.
Doesn't it just kind of like mess with you a little bit? Doesn't it like just kind of slows you down?
Well, he can also use it to like hypnotize you. Like I don't know if he's
Laxus has resistance to like illusions and mindfuckery. Remember?
Yeah, with Kira.
He fought against Mystigun.
Him too. Oh yeah, when he tried to put him to sleep and all that, he was fine.
Doesn't work.
Well, what if he uses the auditory to kind of simulate motion sickness? But I guess that would be assuming he knew that would make him.
And you haven't made it to his sick red lightning dragon mode. He's wearing chemically exploding dragon blood lightning.
Dang, I can't remember what was his. Because Sinbad has like another crazy. Because I know we don't know all of Sinbad's abilities, but I know he had like another crazy.
That makes me so sad.
Right, like that they didn't show all of them.
It's like with God Serena, like Mishima, like why couldn't you just literally just shown a scene where he has his other elements? Like,
just no reason.
Like you could have just had like one page where Sinbad just swapped between each of his forms, called it good, or done anything literally to show it. It's just weird to leave a specific number. Like what's that guy's name in Hunter x Hunter? Kite and his like was it? Like, crazy slots.
We didn't get to see all of them.
You get like 3. So it says
this one's kind of broken too.
Well, it says the Rutherford siblings got shafted, facing the big disappointment Callum and discount Kana. Those are harsh words, Shy Penguin.
He's not wrong though. He's not wrong at all.
I wouldn't say they were disappointments.
Discount Kana.
None of the oceans have been like crazy so far. I'm hoping that Fabiano guy is pretty cool.
I was expecting so much from them after like how they were like, oh my gosh, they're only Ocean 6. Like the old ones and the new oceans are so much more powerful. And I was like, I was expecting a lot, to be honest with you.
I hope so. I was a little sad that I just wish that like some of the fights were longer.
He does seem like he's speeding through them. Like if he could get like a, I don't know, because I mean, who had a 2-chapter fight? Like Weiss, and then was kind of a 2-chapter fight.
They were all like chapter and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Dark Triad or Sabertooth? All of Sabertooth?
If it's all of Sabertooth, that's kind of tough.
Oh, because
like
Rufus is a pain for Black Clover and Whole. Like imagine him trying to fight Rades. He just makes Rades forget his 2 spells.
Well, that's Rades. He only has that. I mean,
everybody.
Well, like Dark Triad would have just used his broad abilities though. Like,
I mean, you have they only have like a handful of people in Sabertooth. They're gonna be like Sting and Rogue, and then you have Minerva to a degree, and then Minerva. Like Rufus and Orga. Orga's really only got the 1 spell.
Dang, what's the white haired chick's name? I can't remember.
Yukino.
Yeah, doesn't she have
She has gravity magic. I mean, she can pretty much help it. Like Dante's gonna get screwed over by her support. That's about it. Cause like,
you don't play no games. He might just kill them all real fast.
I would wonder how like Minerva would do against him with her territory. Cause her whole thing is, her spatial shit takes over areas the same way his does.
I guess I go by who just had the more powerful magic at that point. Like, who just has more magic? Which I would assume would be Xenon.
The thing that really hurts them, I think, would like Sting having holy magic. I think would be a real danger to a lot of them. And then that body lock is just a terror.
I mean, like, is that a thing though? Like does holy magic in Fairy Tail affect like demons more? Like, is that actually a thing?
I don't think so. But I'm trying to remember if it does in Black Clover. Because wouldn't it kind of no? Because Saint Stage is spirit magic.
Because there's no like holy or light type weakness, so that we know of yet in Black Clover. Like, we don't know if Patri. Well, no, because Patri didn't have any type of extra benefit against the grid at all.
Well, I mean, like if Rogue just gives Sting his magic and he goes White Shadow Dragon mode, he's just gonna start running through them.
He's gonna get cursed.
He'll be fine. He went up against Larcade.
He'll get super cursed.
Larcade would have no problem with any of those.
What's he gonna do against Singularity? Like, he's not gonna beat all three of them.
Turns into a shadow and just moves.
And then the Singularity is gonna gouge out the area he was in. It's gonna like.
But
he's gonna get sucked in.
The shadow though, it's like a shadow dimension, so he's just gonna go inside. It's like water.
He's gonna do all this. And he's still gonna like, because imagine like he's gonna be in Xenon's domain, dealing with curses and Singularity. Like, that's a lot.
Well, you also got like Minerva can directly put anyone she wants in the whole battlefield anywhere else she wants. So she can honestly just put someone else in front of Singularity.
That's tough, honestly. That would be very unfortunate.
Because they actually work together. Like, none of the Triad have like any teamwork.
Yeah, they probably don't. They probably just run a bunch of ones, like 1v1s. It'd be like watching a Dragon Ball Z fight.
Vonica would get in. I feel like Vonica would get in everyone's way. Xenon would just be talking shit. Dante would be monologuing.
He might kill everybody with his huge AOE attacks. Like,
maybe. I think it's just they just sit way higher. Like Larcade beating Larcade.
If he just game starts presence of the Demon King, like that probably clears out like literally all of them.
Oh no, because then you can just have Yukino can just summon Libra.
And he's gonna like just create counter presence of the Demon King.
All she's got to do is counter specific people's gravity. That's literally all she has to do in the whole fight. She can't do anything else.
I got the Dark Triad. After I've been talking, I got the Dark Triad because I think Xenon will make up for how dumb Dante and they don't even have a way to kill Dante either. His body magic's OP. Like, I got Dark Triad.
They just beat him into the dirt. Like I said, like they beat one of the top Spriggan.
This is the Dark Triad. This is 3 of like the top people in Black Clover's verse. I don't see them winning at all.
Listen, like I said, remember how powerful I said Ethereon was? Like, that sits way below Larcade.
Unless Sting and Rogue are about to transform into literal dragons, I'm not seeing it.
Nah, man. If they're sitting above Ethereon, they're sitting above the Dark Triad. Cause like, think about this: if you put Ethereon, like all of the Black Clover kingdoms can fit well into Fiore, and Ethereon we could just wipe that out.
But that's just like a big like attack. Just 'cause, like, people just don't have attacks that work like that.
I mean, their power though is sitting at that. So like, how powerful Ethereon is, like how powerful these guys are all sitting.
I don't even think they have spells like that they could utilize in that way to blow up that big of an area.
I mean, think of the energy potency though that they're going to be sitting at with their attacks, because their attacks are going to be at least as strong as that.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a Naruto argument if I've ever heard one.
No, that's how it is. Because they're Brandish brought up the Spriggan, or like the Spriggan are capable all the same level, and Wall was capable of generating that much power, so all of them should be capable of doing that as well. That's just canon.
I don't know.
There's canon. It's in the setup.
That seems so powerful.
It is. That's Spriggan. Like that's keep in mind, one Spriggan can casually walk through like all the Wizard Saints.
I still got Dark Triad over them. Like, I still got the Dark Triad over them. I really do.
Like you put the Dark Triad versus you put the Dark Triad versus Brandish. They beat somebody
See,
stronger
like,
than Brandish. Brandish snaps her fingers, and Xenon and Vonika's heads explode.
well, see, I don't know. Like, does her magic affect people regardless? Because, like, I feel like they would have more magic than she would.
I don't believe that.
Like,
Brandish is like known for destroying countries.
I mean, Xenon ravaged a country.
Xenon went and stabbed a bunch of fodder like outside of their capital. He went and poked a bunch of diamond generals. Like nobody's saying like, man, those guys defeated the Spirit Guardians. They're country level. No, those guys. Nobody cares about those dudes. Look at some more matches. I don't know someone just because it was mentioned at some point. Was it like Xenon against Julie or Gojo? I think Xenon's clapping. Same thing with Julius. I think Julius is clapping.
It just sucks because, like, as much as I want to say Gojo wins, it just feels like
slow.
The upper limits, and whatever the upper limits of the Limitless would be, probably aren't like. It's like they probably like are nowhere near how fast that like other characters outside of Jujutsu Kaisen can get.
Oh, Gravity
shit.
Dragon, thanks you for the
You just
$5
busted a
super
nut.
chat. He says the Grand Magic game, Sting and Rogue are weaker than Dark Triad, but current Sabertooth is stronger than Dark Triad. Case closed. I agree. But what were you saying? I lost my train of thought.
Oh no, I was saying that whatever the upper limits of Limitless is are probably like series outside of Jujutsu Kaisen get way higher than probably what Gojo would be able to slow down.
Well, the thing is, like, he's also gonna stand there because he thinks that he would think that my infinity is gonna stop it. He gets stabbed, blown up, or something.
I think Gojo's intuitive enough to realize if he was outmatched.
I don't know. He went up against Toji and was not ready.
Toji.
Wait, are you...
Oh, that was when he was a kid. He was so much younger. He didn't even like have. He did like Limitless.
He got trapped in a Rubik's Cube. He was not prepped.
Well, he definitely didn't expect to see his dead friend. Like, I mean, I can't blame him for getting caught off guard. Like,
he should have been prepared. Six eyes, my ass. Here's one that someone was mentioning: Luffy versus Asta. I think Luffy claps.
I got Luffy too.
Asta's he's gonna think anti-magic is gonna stop some. Luffy's gonna keep punching him.
Yeah, and like Asta's cutting ability, I think isn't like. It isn't like, cause like, I mean, Asta's best cutting feat would be like cutting that like base in half, but like,
I think so.
I feel like Luffy could like block with his hockey. Like, I think he's blocked way stronger things.
Well, Luffy would just dodge.
That too could just dodge.
He just jump over. It's like just a big flat surface. He's gonna hop over it.
And I don't think Asta is taking like too many of like these Luffy tier like physical punches to the body.
Yeah, they have like that's like Black Clover doesn't really have like any physical strength stuff for the most part. And then you look at like Skypiea Luffy's pulling around a 700-ton ball of gold.
Exactly, and then like Dressrosa Luffy's like folding
like
a city, like with just with the residual damage he did to Doflamingo.
Yeah, Jason Bornat says Jin and Clean versus Yuno. Oh, we talked about this one, didn't we? We're going Yuno. Yuno should just be way more powerful than them.
Should be too fast.
I wouldn't even like not even about speed. Like he should just be way more like powerful. Because Eden Zero doesn't have a lot of like raw power level stuff yet. Like they mostly have had like people with like OP just like hacks powers. Weird ether manipulation stuff. Stomach buttons. We need more of those. JK Network says, Quan, did you know that Shiki versus Ochako was an actual matchup somebody made? Elamao.
What in the world could she do? Shiki. What could she do?
She would like go to touch him and he'd be floating, and then she'd be like, he would just kind of be like confused. I'm like, okay, what's next? And then he just floats down.
He just puts himself back on the ground with like no issues at all. That is really funny.
He would probably just keep getting annoyed, like, stop. Just keeps trying to float him up there.
your ability is not about to work on me. Like it just doesn't work. It's not going to work.
Ooh, another fall one. Yusuke versus Luffy.
Yusuke?
Yeah,
I love Yusuke.
I think Yusuke. I think Yusuke can win.
I don't think like it would just be like because it kind of sucks with how Yu Yu Hakusho ended. It would just depend on like how powerful like the sacred energy spirit gun kind of is. Like,
what about his like super demon one?
Oh, the rising form. Well, in the series, Yusuke once he gets like master, or not quite mastery, but once he gets like kind of mastery over that, is stronger than he was in that rising form. Cause that was kind of like the awakening for it.
Yeah.
So like he's really strong, but like if he can hit Luffy with one of them like really big spirit guns, Luffy might die from that. But it's a maybe because Luffy tanked Kaido's attack, like his blast breath or burn blast, whatever it was. So I don't know.
Bagua or whatever it is.
Yeah, that giant blast that like descended, like that bursted through that mountain. So I don't know, Luffy might. But then Yusuke's main thing outside of that is just punching people. So like Luffy might be okay.
Because he does have his observation arc. He can just keep dodging.
Yeah, and I don't think Yusuke is as fast as Luffy either. Like I think Luffy has like a definitive speed advantage.
I can't remember. Does Yusuke for his melee attacks? Isn't he just doing normal punches? Because I don't think that's gonna hurt Luffy that much. If it's just plain blunt force, he should just rubber it up.
He can imbue them with spirit energy, but like, it's like how much is that gonna like do? Because I mean, they are reinforcing themselves with spirit energy, but
gotcha.
Like it's still basically blunt force. Like it's basically blunt force.
Someone said Shinra versus Elsie. I don't know what Elsie plans to do at all.
Oh, I don't. Shinra's looking so nice right now. Like.
He's gonna fly kick her in the face.
At like light speed.
And she died. And she just falls over.
Take her to the moon.
Oh, Jason also says. Oh, yeah, you go.
What?
Oh, Jason also says Quan versus the Dark Triad.
I lose pretty dang hard.
I don't know. I think you could win.
I couldn't win against any one of them without.
Just close the volume. Bam! You won. How are they gonna fight back?
I just gotta call Jay Bada and have him give me a broken ability.
Quan magic.
I was gonna say, what do you think about Arthur versus Urza?
Is this like current Arthur, or is this like before he got kind of crazy?
No, Fire Force. Yeah, current Fire Force. Arthur.
Unless somebody did some crazy mathematics and explains like cutting the planet in half is not nearly as insane as it seems, then he should. Because I know there's because obviously it's different cutting something in half versus like outright destroying it, but I feel like that's still going to be above Urza right now because he also did it from the moon. It's not like he was standing on the planet. I mean, if Urza can dodge it, I guess. If she just jumps over it, then sure. But I mean, like the second she gets hit by that, she's getting cleaved.
Isn't that, like, what about her? Like her strongest form couldn't counter, or at least like go through it.
Well, I'm trying to think because her Flame Empress armor cuts fire in half, so it'll do half potency. And I'm wondering if she could just beat if she could just honestly, if she can disarm Arthur pretty quick, or just beat him before he starts to get deep in his own imagination. Yeah, but I mean, outside of that, like Urza just hasn't got anything really kind of crazy enough to deal with Arthur right now.
I say if she does anything that makes herself look anything like a dragon, she's gonna be effed.
I mean, she grew up in a dragon uterus. He might just decide that counts. Does Arthur fight girls?
Yes, he does. He fought that what is it? That that electric disruption chick or whatever.
Wow, I thought he was a knight.
And he fought Maki too. At the very beginning.
I feel like that legitimately would come down to Arthur, like as a character. What is his response to Urza?
Yeah.
Because it could easily go like he thinks he's talking to a higher rank knight or something, and then he just decides he just won't fight and he'll just listen, and then it just won't be a battle. or he could take it somehow different, and then I don't know what he plans to do.
Arthur's a fun character. Like,
yeah, he's just weird. He's like Rill, sorta, where it's like it depends so much on the situation of like if he's actually gonna be able to do anything or if he's just gonna fall over.
because if like Urza calls him like not a real knight, and his like confidence goes way down, then he's just like he'll just auto lose or something.
Like she comments that he's just wearing clothes instead of armor. Like if he sees her wearing armor and he's just sad that he doesn't have his own suit of armor, he might just go home. But then Urza might just be nice to him, and then they become friends. Bacchus versus All Might. Oh, I think All Might would. I mean, All Might just has to hit him, but I don't know if he's gonna land punches on Bacchus.
Is Bacchus a fairy tale character?
He's the dude who his. Okay, first off, you should know his martial art is literally called Peacock Quan.
Peacock Quan.
Yeah, he's the. I showed you this. Hang on, let me pull up the panel. He's the drunken fist martial artist.
Dude. He's the guy that's literally on the live stream.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I didn't even notice that. I forgot I pulled that up.
Okay.
I just was like, I was trying to think of what I wanted, and I was like, I really like this screenshot, so I wasn't gonna use it. Yeah, his martial art. Let me pull up the panel. It's got your name in it. Yeah, Peacock Quan, however it's pronounced.
I do not remember ever having a martial arts with my name in it.
You might have to sue Mishima for using your name. At least get some royalties. Maybe get a character named after you. Hey, he's the drunken martial artist dude. So that's what I mean. Like, All Might not be able to hit him. Drunk martial arts, no joke.
All Might has like some huge like AOE type attacks though, with like just the like wind that he could send at him. All Might's pretty quick.
That's like his only thing. He's got AOE, but I mean, could Bacchus just like dance around him, keep slapping him? Give him the hands. I mean, is it Prime All Might? Is he on the timer? Actually, that's probably important.
If he's on the timer, then he'd have to. I don't know. He might not win.
It's the All Might with just the skinny All Might, but he's got the one buff arm.
I feel like that's your favorite version of All Might.
That's the best one. He looks like was it the tanks from Left 4 Dead?
Yes. Yeah. They just come out of nowhere and they grab you and start just slamming you on the ground repeatedly.
He just starts yelling. Draken Joe versus Kakashi without Kamui. I mean, Kakashi could just spam clones. I think he's fine.
Kakashi? I don't know, cause like cause Draken Joe can just turn stuff into other stuff, which is pretty good. It's like really good.
I'm saying, I mean, I guess it would depend. Kakashi, because if Kakashi can figure out like just don't let him get close to you, he can just spam clones.
But Kakashi can't make a bunch of them though. Remember, like Kakashi, like he doesn't have a lot of chakra.
Remember. Oh, well, I'm probably Draken Joe then.
Yeah, cause like I mean, but then Kakashi's chakra statements are so all over the place. Cause like he be saying his limit is like 10, but then he be doing extra stuff on top of that. So like he's not making like a ton of clones before he's like tapped.
Makima.
Without Kamui.
Oh, yeah, probably not. With Kamui, then he should be able to kill him pretty quick. That's just one of those characters, like, pre and after getting a broken ability.
Yeah, like, if it's War Arc Kakashi, then I would have Kakashi all day. But if it's, like, before War Arc...
The Kamui shurikens starts just chucking them.
Well, just in the War Arc, he was spamming Kamui. Like, 'cause before that, he could only do it, like, 3 times a day. And then after that, he'd be, like, in the bed for a week. But in the War Arc, he was just spamming it. Like, and this was before Naruto even gave him Chakra.
Yeah, they're just everywhere. Makima versus Julius. Makima should be fine.
That Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, she's gonna be fine. Julius can't kill her at all.
No?
No, she has spoilers for people. She has a contract with the Japanese Prime Minister, so if you kill her, it will just go to some random citizen in Japan. So you'd have to kill every single person in Japan before you could kill her.
Oh, she's kind of like Hawkins from
Yes, but she also,
cool.
but she's just busted. She has a ton of abilities because anybody that she enslaves, she gets all their powers.
I mean, good luck enslaving Julius though.
Well, she doesn't have enslaved Julia. She just has everybody else, and she's got contract. Like I said, you'd have to kill everybody in Japan before you can kill her.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
It's like a lot of people.
She's just gonna stare at him, turn him into a simp, and Julia's gonna be barking at her. Yami versus... oh, go ahead.
Oh, you can read the one.
I was gonna say, Yami versus Blackbeard? He's cutting Blackbeard in half.
No, Blackbeard's immune to dark. Like, it wouldn't work.
You don't think Dimension Slash would go right through him?
It's dark magic.
So?
Dark dimension, like double dark on there. He's immune.
I don't know about that. I mean, plus he could just cut him in half. I mean, how about this? What about Death Thrust?
Death Thrust is different, yeah. That one would probably kill him, actually.
He's putting a hole right through his chest.
Yeah, Blackbeard's not. He's not doing anything with a dimension or with a Death Thrust.
Death Thrust puts a hole in Blackbeard's chest, and then Ace is smiling from the afterlife. He's just happy. He's like, yes, finally, revenge.
Yeah, for not being a real Loki.
Pretty much. I mean, because plus he takes more damage, right, from attacks.
He does. Yeah, he takes increased damage.
So like Death Thrust, and plus he's a big target.
He's pretty fat.
he's like 10 feet tall. He's like 8 feet wide. You should be fine if he can tag the body magic buffed big monster. Dante should be able to tag Dante Blackbeard just fine. What match are you saying?
I was gonna say Kafka from Kaiju number 8 versus Aaron.
Oh, Kafka's gonna body him.
Is he?
That
all the crazy abilities Aaron has.
That one attack from a couple chapters ago, that thing was gonna like destroy the whole city, and you saw like the shockwave go across Japan. Like he's gonna maul him.
But like Aaron can like regen, and he has like the Warhammer Titan and all that. Like
he's breaking and through that. He's gonna punch him, and Aaron's gonna explode. Plus Kafka should be way faster.
Oh yeah, the Titans are kind of slow. Like they're just big and like I guess that's their main thing. Is they're just big.
Shy Penguin says Chad from Bleach versus Quan. Can you take Chad, Quan?
Definitely not.
I think you could suplex him.
That's a big 15-year-old. I don't know about that. Like
you could take him.
I'd go to jail for fighting a 15-year-old.
Ooh, that's true. He's got underage tax. Quan beats him up, and then the police show up.
Like,
luckily, luckily they don't know Quan has the police in his pocket.
I definitely don't have the police in my pocket whatsoever.
It's rich. Natsu versus Toriko? I mean, outside of hacks, like, Natsu's getting killed. Toriko's too OP.
Too strong.
Too strong.
Toriko's too strong for Natsu? How strong does in-game Toriko get?
There's like people like smacking planets around.
Oh my gosh.
Like Natsu has.
Toriko gets so crazy.
I don't know. That dude always goes crazy. So I wish, as rest in peace in the chat. I wish Build King didn't get the cruel fate it got. Like Natsu has hacks, but like Toriko can just punch him.
What about now? What if we do Tonkaichi versus Percival now?
I'm still giving it to the Tonkaichi.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that last chapter, or like the giant crater he made? It was huge, and then it was massive. We just need to have it survive until they reveal the return of Build King, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, we've decided to bring it back." I'll pull some strings.
It would be cool if it came back. It looked like it was gonna go somewhere. They stopped it in such a weird spot.
If they bring it back, I might cry midstream. I can't believe it.
Real Rex tears.
Real Rex. So that's one of the reasons I was talking to somebody. I was talking to Faith, and this is like Faith, J Cloud, and Josuke, and I was talking about how my girlfriend hasn't seen a lot of animes. We're gonna watch Bleach, and they're asking like why not Fairy Tail? I'm like, she's gonna see me cry. I'm gonna get to some sad backstory. I'm gonna get real emotional.
I didn't know you were like super invested in the Fairy Tail backstories.
Very invested. I'm gonna get into some sad backstory. It's gonna be like Laxus at the festival, and he's gonna start crying.
Oh,
I'm gonna be.
Actually really sad.
He's gonna walk away, and he's gonna turn around. And he's gonna be all emotional. It's gonna be like when Makarov kicks him out. I'm just gonna be sobbing.
Fairy Tail was one of like the first anime that, because it was on it like when I had cable, it was like one of those like free animes that like you could watch. This is like forever ago when DVR was still like a big thing.
Whoa,
And,
DVR.
And I got to that part, and that was the last episode of Fairy Tail that they had on there, and I was like, man, this was really good. And I thought it was over.
That would have been a weird ending. Laxus leaves.
Like, they saved the guild. Yeah, Laxus leaves. They save the guild.
Natsu never finds Igneel.
I mean, you know, sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you never find the people you're looking for.
No, that would have bummed me out more. Irene versus Itachi. Itachi doesn't want that. He doesn't want that at all.
Itachi claps and puts her
No, he's not. Good luck.
Over.
She's a dragon. It's not gonna work on her.
Why is it?
Plus she can just pull all the chakra out of his body.
She has eyes, doesn't she? So she just loses.
I mean, but then you can say like, would do illusion magic work on dragons? No.
It's not magic, and
you treat them like the same thing though. I mean, then she could drop. She drops. You treat energies the same way when you do cross first.
Since when?
That's a standard. That's like one of the most regular things possible. Because then you get like Bleach characters. Like, how did anybody see any Bleach characters? They don't have Reichi.
Like, that argument, I always hated that one. Like, he's invisible, so he wins.
That's why like, if they're similar enough, like you treat like magic, chakra, and Ryatsu and all those things the same.
That's like saying like Asuka can smack back like a Rasengan, which just sounds like no, it's not magic though.
It's just I mean, chakra is like the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing.
Chakra's closer to ki than anything else. Like it's closer to like
I don't know
like
about
training
that.
energy. Not magic's like supernatural. Like
oh, so's chakra. They do ridiculous things with chakra all the time.
it's like ki and Dragon Ball Z is like magic too.
Well, no, Dragon Ball has magic and has ki. Those are two different things. Those are canonically two, because ki is like fighting spirit.
That's like chakra is too. Like you train your body to get more of it. Like you harness it through training.
Chakra's just in everything though. It's the same. Like chakra is treated like the same as like how magic is in like other series.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you. I'm like Irene can literally just pull all the chakra out of his body. She can also just undo things, like any of his buffs. He can just undo them.
But like,
she
I think like if she looks into his eyes, she's trapped. Like if she gets trapped in was it like Izanagi or Izanami, whatever it is, where she's gonna be stuck on like loop. If she's stuck on loop, she just loses.
I don't see that working. So otherwise you just beat him with, because otherwise you just beat dragons with illusion magic. You wouldn't even need stuff like dragon slang magic.
But it's different though. Like the Sharingan Genjutsu is different than regular Genjutsu though.
I mean, it's just better. It's not like anything like a whole extra thing.
It is, because if you don't have chakra, regular Genjutsu doesn't work on you. But with Sharingan, the Sharingan user imprints their chakra in you through your eyes, and then they can affect you.
Yeah, that's just an extra level of sensory stuff, because then it goes to your brain.
Yeah.
But they already have that in Fairy Tail. Like Kyoka can do that.
It's not magic though.
Man, you gotta treat the energies the same way though, Quan. That's a standard. Pain versus Dante. That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Pain gets like destroyed.
Oh, how is he gonna know where the regular Pain is?
I mean, he just destroys all 6 bodies, and then he's kind of just like, I won.
What? You don't think he can last against Pain? Even when he does like his almighty push, he's got like the one that can absorb chakra.
The chaotic Shinra Tensei? No, I don't think so. Because like, I mean, even if Dante's singularity gets absorbed, Dante could just resort to smashing them, like with his body, like just with his giant swords and overwhelming strength. And then they wouldn't be able to absorb all the presence of the Demon King, because I don't think it absorbs like area of effect type moves, just like direct attacks.
What anime is that? There's a League of Villains versus the Erasion Seis. The Erasion Seis are gonna destroy them. Like the League of Villains, like they have Shigaraki, and that's like it. What's Toga gonna do? Swing a knife at somebody?
Dude, I was talking about this with one of my friends like 2 days ago. How Toga gets so much mileage just off stabbing people.
She bites people and makes weird faces.
Like so much mileage off of just stabbing people. It's kind of crazy. She runs around shanking people for like 300 chapters.
Gilwet says death thrust won't work on Blackbeard. Why?
I guess like if you consider Death Thrust dark magic and not just a magic cannon, I always consider Death Thrust a magic cannon more than dark magic itself. But if it's just dark,
should be
condensed
physical
magic,
force.
It depends on what exactly it is.
Because it looks like raw physical, because he's putting all that magic condensed into his muscles and just thrusting forward. Natsu versus Akainu. Natsu, like, what's Akainu do?
I mean, it's magma.
So?
It's not fire.
I mean, he was eating molten metal at like chapter 2. The dude had molten steel on his tongue and was fine.
I guess as long as it's like hot, it doesn't matter.
Cause freaking Arcadius walked through lava and he's fodder, and he's not even a wizard. Natsu did fine. Because plus, like, they're also absurdly durable. Like pre Grand Magic Games, Gajil just getting prepared to fight Laxus sat under a waterfall and kept getting struck by lightning and was fine. Like, he's under a waterfall getting hit by lightning bolts, and he's just like, it just looks like somebody's pinching him.
This is kind of like unrelated, but like, so like he ate molten metal.
Yeah.
But like, is not too affected by spicy food or no?
I would imagine not. I can't think of any time that he's like ate something spicy and be like, yeah, I had a problem with it. I mean, he eats fire.
But fire's not spicy. It's like hot. Like hot and spicy are different though. So, like,
That I wish that would have been such a better like comedic thing if like not just eating fire, but you give him some peppers and he starts just dying.
It really would though.
Blue Note and Fujitora versus Dante and Shiki.
Who?
Blue Note and Fujitora against Dante and Shiki. Shiki is in a bad spot. Like, Shiki can't handle any of these three.
Yeah, Author Gravity's kind of like doing way more impressive stuff. I mean, Shiki has a chance against Fujitora, I think. Well, I don't know, actually.
He was like pushing back Zoro like no problem.
Yeah, like his what is it, the Wind Stereo Tiger or whatever is pretty, that move, or it just like shoots that wave of gravity at you. I feel like that's blowing Shiki away. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and he lifted up all of the buildings in rubble and Dressrosa, like just kind of getting prepped. He can drop meteors.
Yeah, like casually.
Yeah, he can just like pull down meteorites and stuff. Like Blue Note's got a black hole.
Yeah, Shiki's. Yeah, I guess that sucks. I always thought Shiki's like the weakest gravity user there, unfortunately.
He doesn't have any hacks too. That's like, we gotta see what that black sky stuff does. I think that's gonna be his hacks.
If he can do that, then yeah, then he probably just would be like the strongest one there, or one of the stronger ones.
I wanna
Fujitora at least if he has that.
Dante. I feel like Dante could. I don't think Dante could take both Blue Note and Fujitora at the same time. I think Dante's just getting bullied at that point.
It's just tough because like I think Dante would beat Fujitora in a 1v1, but Blue Note being there makes it like way more difficult for him.
Oh yeah, and they're both way physically stronger than he is.
It's like Shiki just wouldn't be able to provide enough help for Dante, I think.
No.
But Dante can't die, I don't know.
I mean, he doesn't need to die, they just need to beat him up. He just beat the shit out of him. Ignia against Six Paths Obito. Ignia's frying him. He's busted. You need to get caught up, Quan.
I do. I really do.
Shiki versus Aaron. What does Aaron do? Throw like fodder titans at him? Shiki should do fine. Shiki should do fine.
Shiki's gonna get eaten, bro.
I don't think that. I mean, shouldn't he just be able just to punch his way out, no problem? I don't see any titans handling Meteor Breaker.
I mean, like in a 1v1 scenario, but with like a literal horde of them, Shiki might have to run. He might get overwhelmed.
Couldn't he just fly over him?
I mean, he could. Technically, they could never really hit him.
He just zips around. Noitra versus Jack. How do you think that goes? I think Jack's fine.
Oh, that's the guy from Bleach, right?
Yeah. Spotted number 5.
Yeah, the guy with the quote-unquote hardest skin.
Yeah. Do you think he'd be able to adapt? Because that's something that like it's kind of like Dorothy's Glamour World. Like everyone thinks is like it was impossible to do anything about. That's something that I think Jack can adapt to anything ever. I don't know if he could adapt to Hierro. Cause like I don't think there's anything for him to adapt to.
Because that's just his base move. But it just depends. Like it depends on how long and if Jack could adapt. Because if Jack can adapt quickly, then he should be fine. But even then, like, I don't know. Because Noritoro is kind of crazy. Is like he'll totally take he'll totally take an actual hit to like to do a hit. So
plus like again the Black Clover really needs some physical feats. Like Noritoro physically outclasses Jack like it's nothing. Like he was fighting Kenpachi.
Yes.
And like
that's a strong dude.
Yeah, and put Kenpachi versus Jack and see how quickly that goes.
I think Jack loses before he can really adapt to anything. And even when he adapts, Kenpachi just turns it up. Like
takes the eye patch off. JK Network really wants you to watch the Eden Zero anime. I'm actually thinking of getting caught up soon because I want to watch the Sun Jewel. I want to watch Sun Jewel real bad.
I did see that because when I was editing this video, I noticed that that's where they're about to pick up at, and I really do want to watch that. So cause I haven't seen any of it. Like, and and anytime I see fights, I try not to watch them on YouTube. Like, I'll get like halfway through and I'm like, wait, I need to save it for when I watch the anime. Cause I've seen like half of Shiki and Jin's fight, and it was looking so dope in the anime. I just had to turn it off. I was really upset. I was feeling it.
Yeah, because I can only find like pirate sites right now, and then usually they'll be like way less. I don't want to watch it in 480p. I'm waiting for the official so I can get an HD, see it looking clean.
I wish they put it on Crunchyroll or Funimation. I'd totally watch it if it was on there.
Well,
I have those, but
I think it comes out soon, doesn't it? I know JK Network knows when are they adding it to whatever streaming platform, Netflix or Crunchyroll or whatever, Funimation. One of them has to have it. Also, check out Jason's story on Wattpad. It's got 2 chapters called Undead Mana. Free shill. Well, I guess he gave me $2. $2 shill. Bud, welcome back.
Kyron versus Fuegoleon. That's an interesting one.
Couldn't he just redirect his fire though?
Yeah, like nonstop. But like
throws the salamander into space.
It would not make it back in time for the fight.
It's just Chiron. Yeah, he just cracks his knuckles.
Like a physical fight at that point, because like I don't think any fire that Chiron's redirecting at Fuegoleon's gonna do much.
Well, I mean, because it's
like a brawl.
But I mean, like he can mess with his arm, so it's just one-armed Fuegoleon against Chiron. I think Chiron will be fine. Because at that point, it's just like, okay, well, who's gonna be able to win in hands? But one-armed Fuegoleon.
That's an unfair fight, actually, for Fuegoleon. Like, way more unfair than I initially thought.
Jason also says you bite people, Quan.
What? I've never bit anyone in my life.
I can't believe this. Celine versus Saitama. I mean, Celine just sends him into a different dimension. Says bye. GG's. Current Urza versus Irene. Obviously, Irene. The Spriggan 12 versus the... Okay, you go.
He said it's going to be on Netflix August 26th. That's like right
around. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a, what, week and a half? Yep.
Something like that, yeah.
Sweet. Spriggan 12 versus 5 Kages. That's not fair at all. I mean, like, Damari... Damari just stops time and goes around cutting heads off. Oh, we talked about Luffy versus Asta Carlos. We said Luffy wins.
Yeah, Asta's kid just doesn't help him against Luffy, really, at all.
Here's what we don't. Jack. So Jack against Ultir.
Jack from Black Clover?
Yeah, I assume he's talking about Jack. I just assume Jack the Ripper Black Clover. If it's Jack the Ripper, I guess from what Record Ragnarok. But I mean, Ultir should be fine with that. Because she could just fast forward his swords.
Yeah, sure they would like miss.
He's just swinging his big long arms at her.
He'd probably be really confused trying to fight her.
I would be really annoyed fighting Ultir.
What about this one? Current Black Bulls versus Tartaros Arc Fairy Tail.
Current Black Bulls? I mean, do they have guild arts in there? Because I mean, like guild arts.
Was he there in the Tartaros arc? I can't remember.
I mean, like, does he mean the people present in the Tartaros arc, or like where the guild was at a whole in the Tartaros arc? Because you still have stuff like some hacks, like Kana can trap people in cards.
I mean, couldn't Asta Fate release him back out?
Yeah, like Asta. I mean, Asta's a factor and all of that, but I mean, after the 5 minutes, Asta kind of just is done, and then Black Bulls lose their like biggest person.
In like 5 minutes, but in those 5 minutes, he just claps a bunch of people though.
I mean, he can definitely run through a bunch of people. But that's why I want to know is Gildarts there, because Gildarts is Gildarts, and Gildarts is putting hands on a lot of people.
Beat Gildarts though? Like,
no, dude, Gildart is clapping Yami. That's going fast.
What does Gildarts do to Dark Dimension Slash?
Break it.
He can break dimension magic.
He broke Blue Note's black hole. He can break spells. And when I was talking to Bud, because he just finished Serious Silent. Like Yami needed a Black Moon to go under Presence of the Demon King, but Gildarts was no different. Blue Note's magic while he was still recovering from losing an arm and a leg and internal bleeding and like damaged internal organs, and he's still fine. And then he uppercutted him like through the cloud layer. That's a big thing. Like Gildarts is just OP. Like he's unfair because the fact Crush Magic can work on magic and physical stuff and people. It's like imagine if he disassembles one of them and turns them into all those little chibis and just beats them up. Like, those are just
I
really
feel like
unfair.
There's not much fate magic could do to that either. Like even if Vanessa's there, I don't know if that would stop that because nothing really happened to them.
Well, that's why Kana would be so good against Vanessa because it's like you can trap people in the cards, but I don't think that would activate Rouge at all.
Yeah, that's really because Rouge are mostly for like life or death type things, like not like random effects.
Who asked that? Who is that? Hale? Hale, do you say... do you mean where the guild as a whole? Because like I said, Gildarts is a factor. And plus Makarov, if Makarov can get to his giant mile-sized... He can just pick people up and throw them.
Dude, man, Yami freaking Equinox slashes through him. He's in half.
That's a mile tall. He says,
okay,
he says no Gildarts. I mean, it's really going to depend then if they can hold out Asta, I think. Well,
I mean, Asta has a lot of work going up against like freaking 3 Dragon Slayers. Like
you have 3, and you have Gajil, and Gajil can eat his swords.
This is true. I was against that, but like after, he did eat anti-magic before, anti-magic particles. He might get sick after that though, kind of like how.
Oh yeah, he'll be done after. But he'll be more powerful for like a short period of time. And you have Gray, and Gray is just gonna counter any double stuff. So like Noct and Asta are not having fun.
Dang. I feel like the Black Bull should win.
Because you have you keep in mind also you have the entire
numbers thing. There's too many of them.
Yeah, there's way more Fairy Tail members too.
And like even the lower tiers in Fairy Tail I feel like are more useful than the lower tiers in Black Clover. Like I mean like Gray and Henry, like.
Because even if you look at certain fodder, like Vigitor can pretty much lock out a person by making them dance. He could just say like one of the Black Bulls doesn't get to fight. Says no. Hale, no, Gajil has eaten anti-magic, Hale. He's done it before.
Yeah, Rack showed me the panel. Like he's legitimately eaten anti-magic particles. Like he's actually done it. So
and
nothing would be stopping him from doing it again.
The devil particles are worse than Asta's anti-magic because they'll just kill you on contact. Like Asta's is like a big eraser. Those things will just delete and murder.
I mean, at the very worst, he would probably only be able to eat one of his swords because Asta probably wouldn't let that happen a second time, though. I
mean, but at that point, he's just gonna punch the shit. If he's at that close to Asta, and then he's just punching him. and again, like the continuous factor I wish Tabata would fix is Black Clover just has like no physical strength feats. It would be Elfman's time to shine once more.
I don't think Elfman's putting in too much work against a lot of people. Like, I don't know.
If he can get his hands on him, he's fine. Like, Elfman is actually really strong. He's just slow.
I think, like, Luck would run through a good number of people in the Fairy Tail Guild. I feel like all of, like, the fodder.
I mean, yeah, but keep in mind, Laxus is there. You see, if Laxus sees a lightning dude running around, Luck's not having a good day.
That's still tough. Yeah,
He's gonna do.
It should cut down. Like we can make it like a 5v5. Like
He's gonna use Ceranos, and Lax is just gonna catch him. He's gonna put out and catch him by his head and slam him on the ground. He's gonna say no.
Just tell him to stop.
Sends him home. Gray versus Mary Jane. We're not having that conversation. It's Gray. It's not even.
Oh yeah, that's
stop.
Just clap. And Mary Jane claps, bro.
No, she doesn't. It's not a fight.
By portrayal.
No, she's not. No, that's like trying to argue Urza is stronger than Natsu because Natsu's still scared of her.
Yes.
No, like literally this arc, Gray and Mira Jane went up against Scoleon, and Scoleon didn't even take Mira Jane seriously.
I mean, they both lost.
Yeah, but he didn't even see Mira Jane as a threat. He took Gray as a threat. That's why he was able to catch Gray.
Really. That'd be like if we both fought against Conor McGregor and he just like punched me and knocked me out, but he did a super crazy move against.
If Conor McGregor was like, oh man, I gotta take this Quan guy seriously, and actually gets into fighting stance, where it's like for me, he just backhands me and I fall down. It's gonna be like, well, clearly Quan is a more impressive fighter.
No, we both lost. It doesn't matter how bad. You just said
yes,
that.
It is. No, that's no, that's definitely a factor. If we're talking about because like great,
it's not a feat, but with Mary Jane, it is a feat.
No, because the difference is like it's like comparing losing to Vonica, like was it like who else lost to Vonica? Like Noelle, like Vonica actually like fought Noelle, whereas like Rill, she took him so little seriously, she made fun of him without getting out of her chair.
To be fair, if Rill had. Well, no, he probably would have still lost.
Yeah, that's done. That's done. Yeah. Not a fight. Here's a good one for Rill. Leon versus Rill. I think Rill should do fine.
No, I think Leon got this. Leon's too cool.
What? No. Leon's got like 6 spells. They're all just different shapes of ice. He's got.
Make any animal out of ice though.
If he uses the ice shell.
Yeah, he kind of does. He know ice shell? Can he do
it
too?
He was he was gonna use it. That's why Urda said to use it. Leon was gonna be like, well, I'll win this way.
I guess if ice shell counts, that's more of a tie though.
No. The suicide move goes to the winner because then you have a kill. Because think about it.
That's not how it works.
Think about like if you had you're playing a game like you're playing I don't know Dragon Ball game and you use a suicide move. Because then it's like the loser has 0 wins and 1 death, and then like you get 1 death and 1 win.
But in Pokemon, it doesn't work that way. If you guys are both on your last Pokemon and you blow yourself up, you lose.
Well, that's because that's Pokemon.
Pokemon dictates a lot of stuff.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. Because like think about it. Because then it's like you have 1 win and 1 loss, and the other guy has 1 loss and no wins.
I see what you're saying, and in fighting games, that is how it works. Like that is actually just how it works.
But these matches are literally just 1 fighting game match.
You know, when it comes to do I agree with Pokemon or not Pokemon, I gotta go with Pokemon.
Ooh, here's a good one. JK Network wants to know current Homura versus Jin. I'm going Jin. I'm still going Jin.
Oh, that's tough. See. I feel like if Homura could make that fight go the way she wants it to, she could if she could lose the fight first and then fight him a second time, she'd win. But I think like first encounter, she like loses.
Think so? I think Jin should do fine because Jin was fighting Yusuke.
See, but I feel like in the beginning, Homura was stronger than Yusuke, like in the very beginning.
Maybe for like the very very start. But then, like, he had the pseudo overdrive where Homura didn't, where he had the ether lines coming off his body. He definitely, like, Callum and Milani, Callum was way stronger.
But, like, she had, what is it? She had the Valkyrie overdrive, wasn't it? Which is, like...
She does have the battle dress.
Yeah, it's like she had her own stuff, like, earlier than he did.
But Jin has the whole robot body augmentation.
He does.
And he's got them guns. You see them arms? Swole.
And he has more like mobility than she does because he can like fly and all of that kind of stuff.
Do you think he could use his robot parts to produce heat? Because then Homura's done.
Yeah, if he could make any type of heat, yeah, then she would lose. I mean,
Passes
he does have
out.
jets on the end though.
That's true. He turns the jets on her. Bam. Elfman.
Like,
Oh, you go.
yeah, I agree with you. I think Jin.
I'm definitely going Jin. Elfman versus Neji. I think he'd break his fingers on that lizard man.
No, Neji's fine.
You think so? Because like the whole thing,
fine.
what is he gonna do to lizard man? He's gonna damage himself.
He's not. The pokes aren't meant to do damage externally. They're meant to do damage on the inside. Neji's fine. Elfman's gonna end up transforming back or get stuck in that form.
I feel like he's gonna break his fingers trying to poke him.
Just do palm thrusting. He doesn't have to poke him. He can just hit him right in his.
Well, then Elfman just grabs him and just bodies him.
He has Byakugan. He's gonna see it coming a mile away. Just dodge.
He's got him. Elfman will take the damage to get them hands on him. He gets them hands on.
He's gonna get his heart exploded trying to grab Neji.
As long as he can body him beforehand, he's good. Creed versus Zora. That's why is everyone? Have you noticed like everyone hates on Creed for no reason?
Yeah, where did the Creed hate come from? Like, I mean,
I don't get it.
He seems like a simp, but like, I mean, I don't hate him for being a simp.
I don't even think he's a simp right now. He hasn't done anything annoying. He's just kind of like.
He's definitely a simp.
He's just trying to. He's just trying to get it in.
He is radiating simp vibes. Like, he is radiating simp vibes.
He hasn't done any simpery yet. If he's just like, I'll let you go because you're so beautiful, I'll be like, okay.
That's basically what he was wanted to do, though. He wanted to do that.
He's resisting simpery. If anything, he is a star example of fighting off the simp drive. I believe in him.
Simp, sure.
I don't get the Creed hate yet. He hasn't done anything. Everyone's just mad because he's trying to hang out with Amora. Ichigo versus Gildarts. I wish we knew what Ichigo's Bankai did.
Oh my gosh. Right. I still would have Ichigo over because Ichigo just pure power wise should be like way over what Gildarts should be able to do.
But what if he disassembles him? And you just have tons of small Ichigos.
Well, if we're going by Bleach rules, like, that shouldn't work since Ichigo has so much more, like, spiritual pressure. Like, Ichigo's thing is having so much spiritual pressure. So, like, he should be fine.
I don't know, because Askin's hacks worked on him. Like, he lost to Askin Naklavar, like, 5 seconds into their encounter.
Which one is that? Is that the book guy?
That's the death dealing. That's the poison guy that Kisuke fought.
See, but the Quincy's were weird, though. Like, the Quincy's were weird.
I feel like if a hacks like that works, I feel like Gildarts will get it. If he can land that, I think he'll win. Oh, Yamamoto against Kaido and Big Mom. So what? Yamamoto versus Kaido, essentially.
Like, you couldn't even. Well, no, because she can't even beat Kaido by herself. So adding Big Mom on there is like super unfair.
I mean, it's like Big Mom. Big Mom is just like she's just there.
She's not even beating Big Mom. Like, she's not beating any Yonko.
No, Yamamoto. Head Captain Yamamoto.
Oh, not Yamato. Oh, I thought you were talking about Yamato from. I was like, what's the point of that?
Head Captain Yamamoto. Yeah.
Oh no, Head Captain claps.
Bankai. Zanka no touch. Swings.
They just die. Yeah. No.
Swings.
No, I don't even have those two beating. What's that big monster? Amon, I think it was. From
oh, what? Okay, they can beat that guy. Come on, Aeon. Aeon.
There we go. Yeah. Nah, they're not beating. That guy's not beating.
No. I can joke on One Piece. I don't think that they lose to the Trey Beastay's like little minion.
Little minion, that thing was clapping.
He got bodied by like one of the most fodder freaking Stern Ritters. What's the guy Kilgay? What's this thing? The jailer. Yeah. He got bodied by him. There's no way. That's like put that guy against Kaido. Kaido's gonna beat him up. He's gonna swing.
What does Kaido do? He shoots fire at him, like
he smashes him with his big club. Kaido smash. Like I clown on Kaido, I don't think that he loses the Aeon. Percival and Donny versus Annie and Natsians. Okay, Donny can't fight. So it's
he levitates one of them, they're out of the fight like immediately.
Won't Annie be able? Annie will just like get him to admit something. He'll get flustered and drop the sword.
Annie, she's done. She's not even like Nancy's could maybe still do stuff with his like shooting mist of poison and all that. But if he floats Annie, she's out of there.
What happens if they just trick Percival?
Yeah, that would work. Percival's really stupid. Like really stupid.
They say, Percival, you're actually on our team, and then he just smacks Donny.
Just slam it. Just starts wrestling him.
we need to wait till like 1 or 2 chapters after we get some Donny feats.
I'm really excited for him and I forget the dude's name, the other apprentice stuff. Like I didn't think we were going to get like so much Donny content this early.
This is the best content. Donny content is getting Moskoi content. It's required. Donnie's that dude.
Yeah, but then again, I don't think Annie and Nansen's could be Percival like by themselves.
I don't think they'd be in a fight. I think they could trick him. Like they could literally like fighting Percival right now is like fighting Kirby. I could beat Kirby if I literally just gave him a sandwich. Here's this little 8-inch ball that is like can beat like cosmic beings, but if I gave him some food, he'd want to be my friend.
But if he gets cut with that hell brain with the tranquilizer stuff, he'll just pass out again.
He offers him the same potion that made it. Here's what we do. He offers him the potion that makes his hair big.
I see no reason why Percival accepts that, because then he wouldn't be able to put his helmet on, and he doesn't want that.
He would say, Percival, this potion will take you directly to Ironsides. And he'd say, okay. He just drinks it.
Just passes out.
Annie, because then Annie, because if they're working smart, Annie says he's telling the truth, and he'd be like, well, Annie doesn't tell me if he's lying, and then he drinks it.
That's not fair. If it was a real fight, he would win, but in character, he probably would lose.
That's just Percival. He's a big goofball. But it says Leo versus relevancy. What's the Leo hate? You guys are gonna look real silly when he pulls out his ultimate spiral flame.
Don't know. See, even that's the thing. Even if it is the ultimate fire, like it'll be cool. I think he gets ragged on too much for the spiral flames. Everyone does the same spells over and over again in Black Clover.
It's just that his spells are all spiral flame.
But he has like the wild bursting flame, and he can like put fire on his hands and punch stuff. Like he does other stuff.
He's got his Crimson Eruption.
Leona has literally one spell, and no one ever says anything.
Ooh, she's got like 3 spells.
What else? Like Monozone release, the little punches.
She's got a Purgatory. She's got Purgatory Abyss. She's got her big lioness hands.
Those hands, okay.
Yeah.
Or like Noelle just does Sea Dragon's Roar like 55,000 times, and no one said anything about that.
I mean, she's got like 2 other spells.
Or when it did Spirit Storm literally the entire word double fight, and no one said anything about that.
Listen, if we get profounder spiral flames, we'll talk.
Profounder.
Far more profound spiral flames.
Luck literally just got his first move, and like no one is saying anything. Like Luck didn't even have any, so he just put on armor and just punched people. That's not even a move.
He had was it Thunderclap? Shoots a little lightning ball.
Okay, that's like you don't even need to call that a spell to shoot your element at someone.
You only get a couple spells unless your name is Yuno or Yami.
So many people do the same. Like Gauch does the little reflecting mirror spell all the time.
Henry has like 2 spells. I wonder who has like besides raid. Well, actually, if you count raids as zombies as individual spells, those are more spells. I wonder who has the least spells otherwise. I guess Augustus has 1 spell.
Does Charmy even use spells? Like I thought she just does stuff.
She's got like 3 spells, right? Let me look up Charmy. I'm gonna look up Charmy on the wiki. You pick
like
out a couple
names.
matches. You pick some out.
All right.
I feel like I've been hogging all the picks.
Elizabeth versus Noelle. Elizabeth from 7 Deadly Sins.
I mean, she just heals. Like, what's she gonna do to Noelle?
No, Elizabeth can fight. What are you talking about?
What is she? What does she do that damages? I know she's got like a couple light spells, but like aren't they like most entirely like healing spells?
I mean, yeah, she does, because she doesn't like to fight, but she has
Oh yeah, what was the thing? What was the thing that they randomly gave her like in the last couple chapters? The blood-soaked princess that just came out of nowhere, even though they were like she doesn't fight, and then it's like apparently she was known as a mass killer on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Well, Charmy has a couple spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me see. Let me go to Elizabeth's wiki. Let me see. I remember, I just remember that one where she made like a big light whale. That's like the only spell I can ever remember ever, because I thought it was like, oh, neat, and then that was it.
Yeah, because she was able to like damage the Demon King with that. Like,
weren't they weak to those spells though, like the holy magic or whatever?
Nah. I think it's like an even thing, because they're not any more weaker to Hellblaze than the demons are to Arc.
Okay, Arc. She's got Let There Be Light, Tranquilize. Wait, where's the whale? Where's what is this wiki? I need to figure out who's running the wiki and have a word with them.
Oh, Rax is he's gonna be like a warpath.
That's like the only spell of hers that I remember. I was like, oh, cool. It's like, nope, don't even get that. Let me Google it. I just remember that because it was right near a lot of my rage for 70 Cents came out, where they had Maelstrom Rosa going on his rampage. And then like King just fixes him, and I was so mad. I was furious. I wanted him to be the main villain. I thought he was going to be the main villain. I was so hyped.
I mean, the main villain kind of had to be the Demon King. Like,
I wanted him
like,
to
the way
be.
the story was going.
I wanted him to be like overtake the Demon King.
I mean, that would be.
Because it was like he was half. He had like light and dark. It was. Because like Seven Deadly Sins at a core is like it's like goddess and demon Romeo and Juliet, and so he was the guy who got cucked, and I was like, oh, that's perfect for the main bad guy instead of the Demon King who had like no personality other than being mean. Because Maelstrom Rosa was cool. I liked him a lot. He has all those cool weapons and forms.
I would have only liked that if he would have like took over the Demon King and the goddess's power. That's probably the only way I would have.
Yeah, like they could have.
If he just took one, it'd have been lame.
He could have taken both of them. It would have been so cool. Because I thought he was gonna get all the commandments, and he was gonna like start taking the what were the angels?
Graces.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna start taking all those things and slowly get crazier and crazier.
That would have actually been pretty hype.
Because like the Demon King was so lame, but like the reveal with Maelstrom Rosa was probably like the best reveal in the whole series. That part was so sick. I was so mad. I stopped reviewing it for a while because I was furious.
Yeah, I didn't like how stuff started to go. Because like, it almost makes me wish that I was reviewing Seven Deadly Sins back then. Because I was so into it.
Luckily, Four Nights has been real good.
So far.
I mean, we're at Donny. We're starting out literally peak fiction Donny lore.
Starting out peak fiction.
Hell yeah. I'm on the Donny train. Donny's a good guy.
I've seen this one. Jin versus Current Weiss.
I'm still going like Wise just counters him. Cause like
but it's only his arms.
Oh, that's like most of his body.
He has to touch him though. He has to actually physically touch his arms though.
He just gets that Mortal Crash or those weird cord things in his overdrive. He's like Doc Ock.
I don't think he's touching Jin. I think Jin is mobile enough to avoid Weiss actually.
I mean, Weiss has the Arsenal suit, though. It has, like, super mobility. And he can fly, too.
It does, but this is, like, Jin's thing, though, is being, like, all over the place.
Well, do you think, like, when he's touching the ground, he could rewrite? Because he's rewrote, or what is it, like, reconfigured machines on the ground just at a distance. So, like, could he get Jin from a distance as long as he's making contact?
Like, Weiss's biggest thing is, like, where they fight, I guess, is a big thing, too. Like, if they fight in a ship, then Weiss has like a huge advantage because he can rewrite something. If they fight like in a field,
he fights at Foresta and he has like he's just surrounded by trees. Shit.
Yeah, then he just kind of I think if Weiss has like a home court advantage where there's lots of stuff he can do and plan ahead, then I think he'll win. But then Jin's smart though. Like Jin knows how his ether gear works, so he'd probably just leave.
What about Pino is between them. She uses an EMP, so all machines between them shut off. So you have like armless Jin against just base Wise.
That's like just I guess Jin, because Jin knows how to fight. At least I don't think Weiss can compete with like with basic ninjutsu.
Sky mech ninjutsu from his feet.
I mean, he'd probably just kick him to death. Honestly, at that point.
So much
It'll be like,
blood-stained Ellie. That was so weird.
it was random. That was random.
I don't know. I was so confused at that because like her whole thing, how she was so nice. She's just a pure heart, and then it's like if we found out like Lolo Petrico was like so out there like killing her civilians.
Well, to be fair, she never really had a reason to fight once she got her memory back. Like fight until that moment.
I just thought it was a weird reveal to be like. Also, she was known at being this bloodthirsty killer on the battlefield.
Well, I mean, in that war, like 3,000 years ago, it's like there's no way she could have just been as powerful as she was and just didn't fight anyone at all ever.
Well, do you remember the part where when we saw Darrier and Monspiet go into her and she's like, I have to help save them instead of kill them. It's just like it's the same thing.
Did she have her full memories back at that point though?
Yeah. Because that was right before her and Meliodas got cursed. That was her original life. That was such a it's just a weird, really weird plot twist. Like imagining in like next chapters, like it's a good thing we got Demon Lolo Petrica, known for her bloodthirst in all combat areas.
the red waters, Lolo Petrica.
The Crimson Tide, Lolo Petrica.
Wait, Lucy versus Juvia. Somebody said, yeah, I agree. I think Quan say he thinks Juvia's stronger. I do. I think Juvia will win that fight.
Lucy claps. Lucy's springing.
No, it's the love rivals. Juvia would turn up. Get out of here.
Lucy is fair into Spriggan class right now. She's clapping. She's running through her. You need to get caught up.
Juvia is gonna think that Lucy is after Gray, and then she's gonna turn up. It's gonna be over.
No, she just drops her friggin' Aquarius star dress and then manipulates her and throws her in the dirt.
Nah, she gets Aquarius, so that's kind of GG's for Juvia.
She's got her star dress mix too. She can summon all of her spirits right now at the same time.
Was that enough to compete with Love Rivals though?
Yes. She has Gemini turn into Juvia, so Juvia fights herself.
Or maybe if she turns into Juvia's personality is so eccentric that she joins the actual Juvia side.
Well, no, because then this is Juvia's ultimate rival is another Juvia.
That is very true, actually.
They're gonna clash. That is a death match right there. Robin versus Noelle. Should Noelle just drown her?
From One Piece?
Yeah. Unless it's like Robin from Batman.
No, Robin kills Noelle before she even gets a chance to do anything.
Think so?
Well, speed is meaningless to Robin because she can just bloom on you and then break your bones.
Couldn't Noelle just do that giant water bubble that she did in like chapter 2? Or was it chapter 4 or whatever?
Well, I mean, but that was the only time she was actually in the water. Like any other time she does like any of the Sea Dragon's Cradle or like any of that kind of stuff or Sea Dragon's Lair, she's not actually in the water. She's just in the bubble.
Yeah, probably. Side note, how did Robin do that Devil Robin thing?
Bro, I have no idea what that is even about.
That just kind of happened, and I was really waiting for somebody like on Twitter to reveal like, oh yeah, this is where this happened, or like when this like there's a part I remember when Nami got her current staff. There's a part where someone's like, oh yeah, in chapter whatever you actually see Usopp working on it as doing an upgrade. This thing came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because like she had horns and actual wings, like not like wings made out of body parts, but like legitimate wings.
Fangs.
Like, yeah, it was so weird. I mean, Oda just does stuff sometimes, so I mean, you just gotta roll with it, I guess.
Oh.
Like,
Maybe
the whole Ashura Zoro thing still doesn't really make a lot of sense at all, but just roll with it.
Maybe it's her awakening. She can make other body parts she doesn't have. She makes a second Luffy, and that's how they beat Kaido.
Oh gosh, I don't think she can bloom other people though. It's unfair.
Not yet. She's got awakening. J.K. Network also wants to know how strong Ziggy will be against the Galactic Interstellar. I mean, he should be stronger than them, I would assume.
He should be much stronger.
I would assume now he's like probably at like the Heavenly Knights level or somewhere close to that. Because he was already like relatively around Elsie when he was like a beat up machine. I think he's fine now. 60% Dante versus Blue Note. That's pretty singularity, so Blue Note should be fine.
Yeah, he did not do Sabertooth. Yeah.
Not till 80.
Unless he's gonna cut him with one of his rock swords.
I don't know if he's gonna have to worry about that too much. Because Blue Note is way physically stronger, but Dante just has like if you put just a normal fight, Blue Note's physically stronger, but Dante can just throw his singularities where Blue Note has to stand there, and obviously body magic. But you take out
hard to kill.
You take out singularity, and it's just like he can't really kill Blue Note.
Blue Note can't really kill him either, though.
It's a fist fight then. I mean, he doesn't have to kill him. They could just beat each other up.
But he just keeps healing though, like so it's like you don't really knock him out.
What's that one? There was a series that was like recent that I think it was from that slime anime where they just showed like a guy who could just heal a lot against a guy that was way stronger, and the guy just kept beating the shit out of him until he just gave up.
This is to reincarnated as like a slime.
Yeah, that was also that part in Chainsaw Man. Denji just like slaughtered this guy for 3 days until he just asked him to kill him because he was just in so much agony.
That's really funny, actually.
Real versus fully charged Eraser. Eraser's gonna he erases him.
Just erase him, yeah. It just kind of just goes away at that point. I don't see much he could do.
I'm so glad Eden Zero doesn't have like Black Clover power level people, because then they would circle jerk Eraser into oblivion.
Oh, that Eraser beats he one shots.
Yeah, everybody. It'd be like there's no limitations, there's no build up to it. It's just like he just does it.
Just erases stars out of the sky.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be like a few chapters later where he explains like the weaknesses of it and how it works, and then it's just gonna be like they'll wait for the next thing.
Whole bunch of backtracking after that, like.
Rimuru Tempest versus Natsu. I don't know how strong Rimuru is though. I know people say he's like really crazy powerful, but I would have to actually watch the slime anime to know. Because I mean, he could be hacks but not be fast enough, and Natsu could just erase him. But I mean, I have no idea. Who's Geld versus Berserker guy? I have no idea who that is.
I want to think of a good fight for like Doflamingo.
From what series?
Any, I don't really care.
What about Doflamingo versus Xenon? Strings versus Bones.
That one's weird. That's a weird fight, actually. That's a really weird fight.
Because Absolute Space isn't going to really do anything to Doflamingo at all.
Yeah.
So it's just Bones
Actually,
versus Strings.
Xenon's abilities. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just Bones versus Strings. I would have Xenon. Actually, it really just depends if Doflamingo can cut through Xenon's bones.
Because like the only thing he really would have with his space is sending his little bones through the portals.
But like Doflamingo, I mean, he has basic observation hockey at bare minimum, so he should be fine. Actually, no, I don't know if he'll be fine because he didn't. Because Law and Luffy was able to hit him with that Shambles Red Hawk, and he didn't see that coming at all. Granted, he was kind of relaxed, but still.
Because he also has the if he gets stabbed by Xenon, he could patch himself up.
Yeah, he can't just heal, or not heal, but yeah, I guess that's not really healing. That's just like
sutures or whatever, and stitches.
Yeah, he's not gonna bleed out or nothing.
He's technically a doctor.
Doflamingo? That's super weird. That's a really weird fight. I would put Gaara over Dofi, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, because he's just getting his sand ball, and then get that sand tidal wave, and then Doflamingo's screwed. But
then, like, what about him sending the strings through his sand though? Because the sand wouldn't be able to stop the strings going through it though.
What do you if he just hardens it into like a solid mass?
I feel like Doflamingo could pierce through it though with God String though. Like he should be able to get through there.
Well, what if he makes that big Shukaku shield? It's just the big fella.
Oh, well then yeah.
Ultimate shield.
Yeah, that's kind of the limit then for Doflamingo. I don't think he's beating the one-tailed beast. Like
doesn't I mean like not like the actual Shukaku, but like because he doesn't have it anymore, does he?
They gave it back to him.
Did they? Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know niggas handling that guy.
Yeah, they gave it back. Well, I guess it depends on what Gara we're talking about. Like, we're talking about like War Arc or like current Gara, like current Boruto Gara.
Did Gar done anything in Boruto that makes him stronger?
I mean, him and a bunch of other people like were able to like kinda not die immediately against Momoshiki and Kinshiki. So like that would scale them up way higher, since they were able to at least do something. Like, cause even like Shikamaru was able to bind Kinshiki for like a couple seconds with Shadow Possession. I think Gar was able to block him.
Sam J says Law versus Asta. I think Law's fine.
Oh yeah, the way how Law's abilities work just are too much for Asta. It's like way too much.
He would have a terrible time fighting him. Grand Magic Games, Sting and Rogue versus Pain Naruto and Mangekyo Sharingan and Sasuke. I think Naruto and Sasuke will win. They should be fine.
Dang, for real?
I mean, like Sting, like Grand Magic Game Arc. Yeah, I mean they're not that strong. I mean, they have their general hacks. I mean, they have an intangible in the body lock thing, but I mean, like Naruto just sends 1,000 clones in.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. It's kind of a lot.
Hey, just Hisoka versus Xenon. What is that?
Yeah, Xenon should like obliterate Hisoka with like minimal effort.
He says like, "Let me show you my cross-dimensional bone throwing." This guy's like, "Well, let me tell you about bungee gum. It has the properties of rubber and gum. It's stretchy." Black.
Oh, I didn't even think about that with the Doflamingo one. The Doflamingo could change Gar's sand into strings because he is awakened.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, Gar gets clapped in that case.
Well, I mean, that's like, would you use awakening that fast? So I feel like at that point, Gar's probably made way more sand because he can break rocks into sand.
I mean, if Doflamingo's not able to do anything to him, Doflamingo would just he would have no reason to not, like, because he, you know.
I guess.
There's no reason to not do that.
Blackbeard versus Noelle. Blackbeard's just gonna pull her in and smack her.
Like, you remember when Blackbeard pulled in Luffy and just like slammed his head into the ground, like
yeah.
him doing that to Noelle? Like,
this big weird like Blackbeard is shaped so weird. Why is his hand so skinny?
I mean, it's One Piece. Everybody's shaped kind of weird.
That is true. It's weird because like usually Oda does the whole like big upper body but like small legs, but it's just like long skinny limbs, but he's just really fat. He's out here shaped like a cartoon character.
I don't even think any of Noel's attacks could really do anything because he could just like quake them and just like I
Yeah.
feel like any of the Sea Quake stuff will like completely obliterate any Sea Dragon stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, this has been like what, like almost 2 hours. Like 1:45.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you, the QuanCredible, for showing up. Big deal, important man. I know.
Super happy to be here. I had a lot of fun.
Of course. I want to do these usually when there's like weeks where there's no chapters. I was been busy the last 2 weeks. So I wanted to have some good talks. And next time, hopefully, we'll hopefully have Donny feats. Hang on, there was one more. I actually do like this one. I was looking at some of these, but like Kill West actually had an interesting one. Blackbeard against the twins, the Fuse twins. So the Fuse Lilith against Blackbeard.
That one's weird because like the like Sea Quake stuff should hurt them.
Yeah, because it's just like what is like the actual like definition of how the quakes work? Is it just like shockwave?
It's vibrations.
Oh, that's gonna just push the freaking Lilith into the dirt. Because Lilith is gonna stand there and then be like, "This isn't magic," and then be like bleeding aggressively.
Especially if he sucks them in with the dark fruit and like then does any combination of those two things at the same time would like probably break them, like just shatter them.
Well, if she drops the big ice ball on him,
he could just suck it into the vortex.
I feel like he should
just release it somewhere else.
I was gonna say he could probably just break it.
Or break it too, yeah.
Because there was like that part,
I mean, like,
he was laughing at that island and was making those giant ass sea quakes.
I mean, he was about to sink Marine for like the whole island, and that was like he fresh got his powers, like fresh just got them.
I actually
But
want.
now he should.
I actually want to ask people what that one. That's a weird one. I want to put that on Twitter. I might do that.
I mean, all the Black Clover fans are gonna say that she's that fused Lilith into my clap.
They erase concepts. Okay.
But yeah, oh my gosh, it's just strong. It's just Bernie fired. Like they're just over knocked. That's all that was. Like
That part was so annoying because like I argue people and they'll be like, well, I'll ask him what concepts that they destroyed because like their life and death weren't in his shadow realm. He says it himself, and then he's using shadow magic. Like, he's not using actual shadows, so it's just like there were nothing conceptual was actually destroyed. Noct is just like Noct is so bad with power levels. It's ridiculous. Like he's such a good character, but he's terrible at power levels.
he is a really good character. That's like the worst part. Is his character's good. All the fighting stuff is like, Noct is kind of weird.
Like literally, like he's got a sick design. His forms are cool. His magic is cool. His spells are cool. His backstory is great. But it's just like whenever he talks about power levels, like he just says stuff. Anyway, thanks everyone for showing up. I will look forward to getting the QuanCredible. I only can pull the strings to get on here maybe once a year though.
Okay.
He's got a big deal. I'm pretty sure he's going to some big event in the next couple weeks. He might be going to space with Jeff Bezos next time. Who knows?
Gosh, I'm staying firmly planted on the earth.
Okay. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Check out QuanCredible's channel, and we should actually have a 4 Nights chapter on Tuesday, so look forward to that.
Fortnite's chapter, yeah. I just
whoop.
put out the Ether Gear Explained videos. You might also check that out.
Go check that out and tell Quan that you are subscribed, and he might put you in a contest to win a free Lamborghini.
Am I the dream? Like,
Might.
Mr. Beast? Like,
Mr. Beast looks up to you, Quan. He was inspired by you.
okay.
Anyway, thank you everyone for coming. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if I had that much money, I don't even know